I just hit the button. I just instinctively pressed the button, and now we're started. We've started. We're live. Hello, hello, comrades. Excuse me. Hello, comrades, and welcome to another episode of Under Construction. I'm your host, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. Give me a second while I get things squared away here. Got a little overzealous because we're a few minutes late. I was having a little snacky snack before we started. I'm going to drop the link to the thing in the server, and I realize I didn't update a gosh darn thing. It is the 12th. Let's save that. And that's, I think, the only thing we have to change. Okay, alright, great. It's gonna come up there, it's gonna show that, I think, details, that's all fine, that's fine. Oh, it didn't go in the playlist, let's put it in the playlist. I just hit start, I got excited. It's been a couple weeks, so I just hit the button. But I hope everyone has had a good couple of weeks. Last week I had off, I can't remember where I was. Oh, I remember where I was now. I can talk about that a little bit later. Once we get things all ready, of course, we have to do our weekly Not Tetris. Hello, Yankee. So let's get this underway. I think I should have this already set up too. So if you can't see this, say something. Okay, that's not a great start. I wonder how many things I can have off before it just won't let me do that anymore. I'm going to put this right there, and then I'm going to put this over here. And then if we get a square one, that'd be ideal, but we're not going to get a square one. How about I put this here? The Z's or the S's or whatever you want to call them, they're really screwing us up right now. Let's bring this thing down into here. Perfect. Honestly, couldn't have been better. Okay. And now we are getting another one for free. But yeah, let's do this while things all get ready, while people all get in here. Remember to tell your friends, tell your I would say family, but really just your friends. Tell your former friends about the show, where we build railroads and talk about stuff. In a perfect world, maybe I would combine this with this would be the perfect backdrop for the podcast, right? Just talking about news items, and we would have people on, and they would go through news items and whatever. It would be one less show for me to do. But alas, it's just a thought. It's something I did before previously. I think I did this is an official podcast TM when we didn't have enough people and I didn't have enough time to do like an actual podcast, but I really wanted to get the news out of the way. One of those might end up happening again. But, you know, the podcast has been running a long time. This has been running a long time. Obviously, there's a reason to keep this going, right? There's a reason that we should endeavor to keep this going. There's something like progress that I'm making. I'm working towards a goal. Unattainable, but, you know, I'm working. But, like, the podcast is the podcast. It's just news. There's news every week. And losing something like Locomotive Versus would be a bummer, and the opportunity for everyone to talk about what they've been up to, that would be kind of a shame. But you know, it's at some point in the future I will have to really pare down the things that I'm doing. At some point in the future I'll have to really you know, I'll have to dedicate myself to other things. Like at some point I'm gonna, you know, get married and everything. But yeah. Whatever. That's a time in the future. It's interesting to think about how I could do this and that at the same time. I'd need some really dedicated people that really care about the news and all that jazz. Hello, Jebediah, and I see the comment, Yankee. I'm also looking forward to seeing you this Saturday. It should be a good time. We are, like I said, taking this opportunity to do some under-layout cleanup. You're not on the email list because when I made the email list you weren't a member yet. You still aren't a member yet, but You'll probably end up on the email list later. I should add you to that. My personal one. And also Dan Larkins. But you'll be on that one as soon as you remember, because he's the treasurer. He does those things. But yeah, this past Saturday we had a house committee meeting at the Providence Northern. It was largely about under layout cleanup. There's a lot of clutter under the layout from people who have stuff stored there, but also there's a lot of stuff from the construction of the layout. And since the layout is mostly constructed now, I mean, a model railroad is never finished, of course, but the layout is more done than it ever has been, certainly, and is reaching the point where we can call it basically done. There's all sorts of construction debris under there. There's different kinds of paint. There's random track. There's buildings. There's, you know, like static grass and whatchamahoo's, trees and stuff, like things we really aren't going to use, but aren't necessarily nice enough to sell, that can probably just get dumped. And a lot of that is, like I said, paint. We have so many different cans of paint that we're probably never going to use again. So that all has to get taken out. But the goal for tomorrow at the Providence Northern, the goal for tomorrow is to go through everything the club owns, collect all the track and scenery stuff in one place, collect all the electrical signals and stuff, electrical and signals stuff in one place, collect all the tools, I would imagine. JB is going to be doing a lot of spearheading at this. He seems to know what he wants done, and he's the one that pushed for this, because Saturday is when we have everyone around, you know? We have the manpower, and that's what we really need. We need to make use of all these club members that we have. It's important to contribute, you know, but people don't come around on weekdays, and we don't really expect people to come around on weekdays. And while, you know, it will be for a period of the public run time where we won't be able to run trains because we're cleaning, people will still be able to come in and see the layout, and if we get the meeting done quick, we should be able to wrap up the cleaning quick, and then get back to a regularly scheduled Saturday. So that's what I'm telling you. That's what you can forward on to any of your friends that are going to be there, Yankee, and to anyone who might be listening this that would like to visit the Providence Northern, 1175 West Shore Road, Warwick, Rhode Island. Open every Saturday from 12 to 4. Great model railroad, if you ask me. But of course, I'm biased. I'm the president. Everyone's welcome to it. Oh, we're going to get 4 done at once. You know what's something that you can do in not Tetris? I appreciate the enthusiasm, Yankee. We need more people like you. You know what you can do in this game that you can't do in regular Tetris, aside from really, really be annoying? You can get more than 4 lines at once with collapsing stuff. And that's not you know, something that'll happen often, but it is possible. That's an interesting one. Keep an eye out for if we ever manage to do that. In the background here, I will say, and things are speeding up, we're on level 4. In the background here, we have all of those 3-foot gauge cars, and that we were toying with last week. Now, I know it is a long time between now and when the 3-foot gauge is ever really going to be useful, but I can't underscore... Alright, that's it, we're done. I can't underscore how excited I am, and I'm going to take this watch off and stick it in my pocket, and clear up my everything here. Alright, so this is what we've got. Yankee and Jeb. Let me make sure that we are in the route layer. Yep. Now, as much as I want to go through and enter all of these 3-foot gauge cars into our roster of usable rolling stock, I think it is far, far less important than, you know, doing the actual thing. So we need to get back to Bellington here. This route's getting big, huh? Congratulations on another orbit around the planet, Mopac. That's right. I was hoping you would show up today so I could wish you a happy birthday on stream. Everybody else, get this man some cake. I had some cake today. Now, one of the things that we need to do, and I'm going to grab something off my desktop for this. Desktop, under construction notes. One of the things that we need to do is set up standards for the railroads, and that's not something we're going to do right now. Also, look at this view. This is great. This is so great. Um, Set up standards for the railroads. Um, and by that I mean which switch stands are we using, which signals are we using. For the most part, I have all that down, but there are a couple of railroads that I haven't addressed yet. And I'm looking forward to doing that. It's just not a thing that we're going to be able to do right now, and probably not a thing that we should do soon because it's going to be a real doozy. Um, let's see. Should we start off with this? Um, but yeah, I'll say it now and I'll say it again. Always good to get the word out on this. If you've got folks, friends that like trains, you can direct them this way. You can direct them to Locomotive Versus. You can direct them to theironhorseman.com where they can buy Steam Locomotive trading cards. It's always great to see new faces, new folks around. And we want, I certainly want to expand the scope of the cards and everything like that. It's something that I honestly am really excited whenever I get the opportunity to do so. Oh shoot! Whenever I got the opportunity to do so, to sell those things in person, it's not about the money. It's about creating a standard. And if you know me, you know I like standards. Um, no, but for real, there are a couple of hopeful irons in the fire with regard to trading cards. I'd like to get batch number 5 out towards the end of this year, because we have not a lot of batch number 3 left. We have a decent amount of batch 4 left into the woods. And for those who don't know what the heck I'm talking about, I invite you to check out Locomotive Royale, which came out yesterday, as well as any of the other Locomotive Royale episodes, or Locomotive Versus, or Locodome. We'll get back to Locodome sooner or later. Let's separate splines. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to start grabbing pieces and fill this in because there's really not much else. I mean, there's a lot else that we can do. We've got a lot of other town blocks to take care of. We have a lot of areas that need to be townified, and the question is, are we going to be able to do that here? Are we going to be able to get through South Bellington before we embark on Bellington? And what should we do with that in mind? Personally, I don't think it's a big deal if we don't, or if we do make the jump and work on Bellington before we finish South Bellington. But in my heart, like, I would like to finish one before I do the other. Now, I don't know if that's feasible for multiple reasons, not just because because this is going to last forever, right? I don't think that's feasible because undo that because of context, of needing context, of needing to better understand what's going on over there and what's going on over here. Now, we've got this like desolate area, or not desolate area, but non built up area where the mills are very present, and honestly, if we're being real, like, this area should be filled in with something, warehouses, whatever. But this is a town that is probably past its height, probably past its absolute height, and so it's okay that there are some empty spaces. The fact that they're full of trees is maybe a little misplaced, but I really, really like trees, so we're just going to keep that up. So anyway, part of me wants to just grab this thing wholesale, but I think I'll grab this part. Yeah, okay, we'll grab that part. I'm getting sloppier and sloppier with this, or maybe I'm just getting more confident. Maybe one is leading to the other. Maybe the confidence is misplaced, but I really want to get done as many of these suburbs as I can, and getting like a rhythm to it, I think, is really important. Um, and we can grab these garages and we can slide them back away from the road. Now, ideally, these roads and things would all be the same width, but we botched that one. I'm not entirely sure how, but we did. Alas. All right, let's do this. I hope everyone has seen the new Heist Railroader video, the newest one. If you follow along that series, it's the first one that I was able to jump into, and it's been a long time coming. I've really been looking forward to doing this. I only recently sort of got a brief on modding Railroader, and it made me much more confident to say, like, hey, I think I can be here. And I got to be there. I actually got to dispatch for the ES&DT, which is, oh, that was an experience. I can't thank them enough for having me. Uh, I only vandalized the dispatch board a little bit. I wrote buy trading cards on the side, and I didn't jump in there. Um, but it's important that that kind of thing is not a collab. That is just me being a member of Mark's community and showing up. Now, if anyone gets the chance to sort of do a guerrilla marketing campaign in there for the trading cards, that would be fine. That'd be just fine. But I didn't send you to do that. Um, I'm going to talk to some people about joining a committee after the voting. Awesome. Yeah, we could always use committee members. The committees are certainly less exciting than you might think, but I think there are definitely some people who would be more than happy to teach you this or that. That's what I love about model railroading. There's something for everyone, and there's always something to learn. Um, Walt is a very good teacher. I can recommend him if you want to get into electrical stuff. He's very cool, very straightforward, sarcastic son of a gun. He'll bust your balls, but that's what I like about him. It's a bug. It's a feature, not a bug. Um, I feel like some of the other guys are unfortunately very prickly in their domain. Nobody helps with the operating sessions because nobody wants because JB doesn't want help with the operating sessions. I think if you were to like join the operating committee and like make a like stake yourself out, right? Just be like, I want to help with the operating sessions. Maybe it could happen. I never tried. I feel like I could have gone down a different path and I could have helped with that because I think it's really cool. Like op sessions are cool, but planning op sessions is also cool. Um, there are some really interesting tools out there for planning that, for planning stuff like JMRI tools and things like that. That'll like randomize op sessions for you. Now the thing is, we hardly do op sessions, right? Um, we hardly do op sessions. I think if we were to improve upon op sessions in general, or if we were to make more complicated ones, you'd have to sort of like say, hey, here's a complicated op session. People that are ready for it show up. And I vaguely know how to dispatch. There's like 2 or 3 people that know how to dispatch. Uh, and that's a skill. That's a really handy skill. I know how to work the computer, sort of, but I don't know how to properly dispatch on our setup. Um, such is life. Uh, if only I knew everything, right? But yeah, no, absolutely. Talk to folks about joining a committee. What do you think you would be interested in, or do you just want to be a part of it? Which is also very fair. I did some track work way back a long time ago. I don't know if Mew's going to pop in today, but I could share stories of the club that we were a part of in college, the New England Berkshire and Western. Love that place. Awesome layout. Was featured in Model Railroader multiple times. In fact, I've got one of them over here. One of the Model Railroader magazines that features that layout. I got it from Shortline on the server. Michael's a cool guy. When he streams, go and give that man some attention as well. Um, so I've got to myself do more networking like that, show up in other people's streams and things because I'm not the server isn't really growing right now, and it's line is required to go up. Okay, so I've used the same garage 3 times on this stretch. I think we're just going to ignore that because oops. But let's see. I'll grab this one. Really aren't like this is the point where I'm realizing there are too few garages. Um, but I will grab this line of things and that line of fence and this and this and this and this and this, and we'll grab that. You can tell when it. I've already talked with John and Walt a few times. John seemed like he wanted to be on maintenance. Oh yeah, we always need maintenance. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you and your go-get-'em attitude. Tons of people show up to the club and they just want to run trains. And I'll be honest, I was one of those people. Now I'm president. I will, of course, mention that it was not exactly my idea for me to be president, but I am glad that I was able to take on this position, and after my, time in between, oh shoot, I will probably run again, or I'll probably put myself up for it again, because despite the fact that it's, it is a leap, it's the kind of thing where once you get used to it, and you get to know people, and you get to know the rhythm of it, and you get to, sort of put stuff down on paper even, because now I have an email list that I use, and I have a little notebook that I use just for the club, and I'm trying to keep track of this and that, what's important and what isn't. I think it's easier to keep that going. Frankly, I think that the club made a mistake when they mandated a maximum of 2 consecutive terms for president. And I understand why they did that, of course. But it strikes me that these things tend to go fairly well when somebody's in the position for a long time. And that's, there's pros and cons to that, obviously. But you need these kind of positions. Secretary, treasurer, and president, I feel like, are 3 things that really benefit from having the same people in there all the time. It just helps. It helps sort of like the continuity of everything. You can, like, if you're secretary for a long time, you can build up like a way to save everything and keep track of everything that you're going to be familiar with. And then if, like, God forbid, the IRS ever shows up, it's like, here are our records, good sir. Instead of, I don't know where the previous secretary put that. But yeah, I did track work and maintenance for the NAB&W a little bit. The one story that I'll always call back to is I had to do some spiking of some of the hand-laid stuff that was near our passenger terminal. And the reason that was a big deal is because we had like this compendium of double slip switches that the frogs on them were basically free floating and they had to be individually spiked down. And so they would pop up and they would start causing chaos, and I'd have to get in there with a tiny hammer and start working on that. But yeah, it's always useful. There's always stuff to be done. There's always stuff to be fixed, even if there's no layout to build, There aren't too many places where we could add more industries, but that doesn't mean that the railroad is done. And it certainly doesn't mean that we can, rest, right? There are folks that... Alright, separate splines. I've seen firsthand how pressured people are on the maintenance committee. I'd like to relieve them of some of the issues. Yeah. And if you're talking about like layout maintenance or house committee or anything like that, yeah. Even just the upkeep on the building is a lot. So I appreciate it. Don't burn yourself out, of course. Don't try to take on everything at once. Take it slow. But, we need you and more folks like you. And if you're listening to this, dear viewer, and you think, hey, I'm a member of a volunteer organization, I just show up and, hang around, see what you can do. Because that's exactly what they're going to need. A volunteer organization will never turn down more hands if they're a good one. This is why I'm trying to get my brakeman certification or anything really at the WWF, just to do anything other than spike, right? Like I can hurl a hammer poorly, but other than that, I can't do much. Um, Hi Ryan, how you doing? Um, hopefully you are. Hopefully today has been charming. Oh, I'm on the ground suddenly. Um, so you write pressure, by the way, and I think Billy Joel. Uh, that's what popped into my mind, and I'm not going to try to recite that because I don't need to subject anyone to that. But that's what popped into my head. Uh, that's what I was quoted. Yeah. Uh, See, I haven't listened to that song enough, obviously, because the only lyric I know from it is just the word pressure. Um, and with you, honestly, I would expect musical. I thought it was going to be some musical thing. Um, but you can't be held down by my expectations, of course. Let's see. Uh, let's do this. I'd be a lot happier knowing that the new young guy is under the layout working on stuff while the older guys tell him what to do. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, no, I got roped into that. They wanted to make me electrical committee chairman once upon a time, and I'm not around enough. That's my problem. Um, and I get people asking me why I'm not there on Saturdays, and it's like, well, I've got a house. My Saturdays are very precious. Uh, I'm to shock and shake expectations. You managed to shock and shake expectations by doing the thing that I thought of, but you just didn't come out of the person I expected. I suppose I expected something else from you. Um, Am I going to be at the EBT on the 14th? Oh, I sure wish, Virgo. Welcome to the stream. I wish I could be at the EBT on the 14th or any day of the week, ultimately, because there's a lot of cool stuff going on out there, and I know Mark's heading down that way. Well, he's already there, I think. Um, and I would love to be a part of it, but sadly, I've got too many other things to do. The 14th, even, is exactly this meeting that we're talking about in 2 days, so I am already hosed even if I wanted to be down there. But sadly, it's a long hike from me to the East Broad Top, and I just haven't had uh, too many, uh, too many opportunities to run down in that direction. Like, it is a very long way. I went to the DL recently. Uh, I don't think 16 is gonna be back. I had heard some that there were some additional problems that cropped up with 16, but I can't tell you for certain. I would just say meet your expectations accordingly. I would hope so too, but even without that, the East Broad Top is a fascinating place. It's really, really cool. Um, I can't say enough good stuff about it, and I've only been there when it's dormant. Uh, I take that back. I have been there once. Um, yeah, the Delaware and Lullaware. Hi, Dean. Um, I've been there once since, and it was to give the head of the railroad, whose name is currently escaping me, a sample trading card and say, hey, here you go. Here, check this out, and if you like it, if you like it, maybe see if you want to order some. That's the only thing I've been at the EBT for. They had 16 steamed that day, but I was just driving back from like Ohio back to Rhode Island, and I could not stop and smell the roses, as it were. Um, I also had a bunch of other stuff to do that day, and I had Gloria with me. Yeah, the getting down to the DL, getting down to Scranton is it's a bit of a hike. It's further than I'd like to do in a day trip, and I have done it in a day trip. Um, but it's like 5 hours to Steamtown or whatever. It's not the end of the world. Uh, Getting to Lancaster is like 6 or 7 hours, and getting out there to the East Broad Top is a ways. It's a ways. Like, that's an extra few hours beyond Lancaster. I would imagine it's like, Uh, I would imagine it's like at least 10 hours for me, just a guess. But I keep saying I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna get out there someday. Um, I really want to see 3 foot gauge steam in person for the first time. Yeah, the EBT is a really cool place to do it. And the thing about going to the EBT is that as your first 3 foot steam experiences, it's all uphill from there. Uh, okay, that's mostly in jest, but it's it's an incredible place. I know that it is very different than most of the 3 foot stuff that is out there. And I say this as somebody who went to the Durango and Silverton and Cumbres and Toltec very recently, within the last few months, with Dean and with Mew and with Gloria and with some other folks. Uh, and it was, yeah, ride the open air car in the Highline of the DNS. Yeah, there's your relatively peak. I think the Cumbres and Toltec is better. I'm gonna be honest. And I know that might be a hot take, or maybe that's a cold take. I know the Cumbres and Toltec wins all the awards. Um, uh, the DNS is very hype. It's very hyped up. Um, again, don't take me like quasi dissing the EBT very seriously. It's something special. It really is. It's something special. It's something unique. The fact that it's frozen in time as much as the Cumbres and Toltec is, if not more, is one of those things that is hard to overrate because it was cool to visit that place when it was dormant. When in 2017, when I went to Pennsylvania and went there with Casey and Weibold and and TJ, I just walking around it, it's like, wow, this is a piece of history that I'm looking at. It's really special. And yeah, I saw the 487 without. Yeah, no, there was a cylinder head kaboom as well. 487 and the Cumbres and Toltec in general just having a rough time. Yeah. So, but yeah, the still I think the ride experience is better. Is what I'm getting at with that. Don't think I'm dissing the EBT. The EBT is really cool. I have not been able to ride it since it's come back to life. I really, really want to. I would love to get down there for the Narrow Gauge convention, but alas, it was never meant to be. It was never going to happen. There were too many other things I was doing this year, going to Colorado and planning a wedding, which I didn't really think about at the beginning of the year when I found out about the Narrow Gauge convention, but life comes at you fast. Um, it's it is a it is so the Durango and Silverton is extremely commercialized, and it means that it runs like a top. It is a relatively well-oiled machine. They get out there, they run their trains, and they get you home. Um, there isn't a lot of flexibility there. There isn't a lot of chaos that can unfold for the Durango and Silverton. However, that doesn't mean it's the end all be all of experiences. It You got to stay in your seat for the most part. If you're in the open air car, you're in the open air car. If you are in one of the coaches, you're in one of the coaches, and that's it. If you're in, Silver Vista or whatever, you're in Silver Vista. Not that you want to leave Silver Vista. Uh, but it is for lack of a better term, a very on-rails experience. It's cool. The scenery is very pretty. The operation is really cool because, like I said, it's very smooth. It's very professional. Um, and it is it's a nice ride, Uh, on the flip side, though, and this is why, because I can't say that things are bad about the DNS, because honestly, I think the only bad thing about the DNS was the fact that the seat was kind of uncomfortable and small, and you couldn't leave it. Like, that wasn't great. You aren't supposed to get up and walk around while you're on the Durango and Silverton. Um, except to go to the cafe car. If you want to do that, you can. I did that plenty. Cafe car was nice. Love a good cafe car. Um, but the Cumbres and Toltec. The Cumbres and Toltec does everything the DNS does, but better. It is a full train experience. You know, you get your seat, right? You get your seat, but you can go and stand in the open air car if you want. It's not a restricted area to only open air car passengers, and that on its own is really nice because you get all these different views. The lunch you get is nice, you know. In on the DNS, you just get dropped off at Silverton, and you go and find lunch, which isn't bad. It isn't bad, but it isn't like uniquely good or interesting or different. It's just you go to a place and then you ride back down, and it's a long ride up and a long ride down. The day length is a little bit longer on the Durango and Silverton than it is on the Cumbres and Toltec, but you spend less of that. You spend more time off the train, and I think that works to its detriment. The fact that you go up, you mill around, and then you've got to go all the way back down through scenery that you've pretty much already seen before. Like, yes, you're on the other side of the train, and that's something. And yeah, like the double header that we got to witness when I went there was pretty darn cool. I definitely can't say bad things about that. And then cutting the one locomotive off and having it run ahead and going over the High Line. Like, the High Line is a unique piece of scenery. It's incredible. But the gorge on the Cats is also fantastic. And you only have to see it once. You know, once you're out of the gorge, you're out of the gorge. You're not going back to the gorge. And you get tunnels, you get a couple of high bridges, which are really nice, and you get a varied environment that you don't get otherwise. You get an environment that that you start off in relatively forested territory and in the mountains, and by the end of it, you're out on the flat. I basically can't recommend the Cumbres and Toltec enough. I went into it sort of not really believing the hype about the Cats. And I should have, you know, I should have. I should have gone into it whole hog and said, like, okay, I'm so ready for the Cumbres and Toltec. I'm so excited for this. But I went into the DNS excited, and we got that doubleheader, like I said. That was cool. Definitely redeeming quality. But you're not going to get that every time. And then I was kind of like over it by the time we were heading back down. I was like, okay, yeah, we've seen all this before. This is really neat. I'm ready to go to the bottom now. Whereas the Cumbres and Toltec, it keeps giving you new stuff. And that's why, like, the marquee ride on the Cats is to go up Cumbres, you know, from Chama to Antonito. That's what you do. Chama to Antonito, bus back. That's the best views. It's the best setup. You get to be behind the steam locomotive pounding up Cumbres Pass, which is in like the morning, and that's the first thing you get, and that's the steep side too, I believe. So that's, you know, that's worth it, right? Like, that's worth it. And I wish I had so much to say about the East Broad Top. I wish I had anything to say beyond my deep respect for the, like, built-in history of the place. That's amazing. It's fantastic. It can't be oversold. But that's where my opinion stops, because I've never been since. So, you know, do with that what you will. Virgo, I hope you have a blast. You know? I hope nothing I've said has put a damper on your excitement at all. The East Broad Top is very cool. The scenery is relatively pretty. You know, it's no It's no Toltec Gorge or whatever, but you're not going to get that in Pennsylvania. Uh, I'm not going to judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree. I'm not going to talk about the two, side by each like that. It's a very different experience. It's a very different railroad. It's a very different set of histories, um, and locales and everything like that. It is a really, really cool window into a certain era. Um, and Mr. Modinger finally gets to play with his 3-foot chooches, and that's what he's always wanted. Um, I'm really, if the RGS-20 restoration had taken any longer, it would have been there. Okay. Let's scooch these guys in. I'm really looking forward to getting out to Colorado again. It's going to be very soon, actually, for a very tall man's wedding. I'm excited about that. I'm excited just to go. I'm excited to be there. I'm excited to hang out with people. It's going to be really nice. I'm just going to rotate this a little bit. Come on. Get rotated, idiot. Okay, whatever. There's the tiniest space in between. You know what? That's okay. Sometimes that happens. Remember, if everything makes sense, you're doing it wrong. If everything makes sense, your world does not. You've got to roll with the punches. I've been watching, new to 3/4 episodes. I wish, and I wouldn't say I have stuff in the chamber for a 3/4 of an idiot show. I have stuff that I want to do, and with the citation needed, right? You don't really need to prepare as much as I did for the bridge killing bridge thing, where I spent a long damn time figuring that all out, and it wasn't pointless by any stretch of the imagination, especially because I got to do the unabridged telling, which some people like a lot, and I wish I could do another one of those. In fact, I kind of want to re-record it and fix all my flubs, right? Because there are a ton of them, and I did it in one take. I did it in the very first take. I was just like, I want to get this done. I want to get this out there. I've been sitting on it for so long, that, yeah, it just needs to get out the door. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right now. Oh, this guy's hovering. These guys are all hovering. Uh-oh. That's not good. We don't want that. I'm going to make a reference to a really ancient internet thing right now. Because it is the reason I say hovering like that. And it is... If anyone here... I assume Dean might know this. I don't know anybody else that would, necessarily. An old, stop-motion / machinima show called Arby and the Chief. And just, there's one thing that lands in my brain from that, which is Chief, who was voiced by Microsoft Sam, with the meme of good old Hovercat and saying, Hovercat, it's hovering. Oh man, that lives rent-free in my brain, and it has for so many years. It's hovering. I miss Microsoft Sam. I probably don't miss Arby and the Chief, because that was the kind of thing where the humor was really something, and I feel like I've moved on from that stage of my life. But let us not forget those periods that we went through, those lives that we led. Arby and the Chief and YouTube poops and all that jazz, and let's not your parents didn't let you? Aw. I what my point is we cannot criticize Skibbity Toilet. or any of like the current generation of memes. Like we can't do it. We were all cringe at one point or another. Just embrace that fact, and move on and live on and whatever. Live and let live. We are all cringe on this blessed day. I make a Trainz series. I'm 27 years old. I'm an ancient son of a gun, and I'm here. I'm here building a little town. Well, maybe not so little, but whatever. We've got 7 minutes to wrap this up. I want to be able to wrap this up in 7 minutes. It's not going to happen, but it's what I want. But I hope everyone's having a good Thursday and having a good week. The only good YouTube poop creator was WTL Network. Fight me. I have no idea who any of the creators of any of the things that I watched were. I was not creator loyal. I was just searching up stuff and being served things by the algorithm. And it's just... I can't even tell you. I wasn't a follower of any particular channel. The ones that I remember the most are the ones with the floating disembodied head of Mario. Which I think was from something, but I don't know what. Some Mario game, I would imagine. And also the Zelda CDI stuff. And if you know, you know. And if you don't, that's okay. That's a chapter of the internet that is now past. It's closed. There are a few, like, things that go around that exist in that style. Like, I know that there have been a couple of heist videos that have been done up as YouTube poops. And that's really funny, and it takes me back. But, it was a different time. It was a different thing. It was a different amount of maturity. Does anyone remember the Laser Collection? I sure remember the Laser Collection. And I saw somebody the other day goofing on like, oh my god, Asdif movie, right? It's like, no, but they still make that, and I still watch that, and the jokes are still funny to me. Comedy, all comedy is based on, like, surprising you, right? And at some level. And sometimes just the off-the-wall stuff just works. It just works. Asdif is great. And their card game is also great. We should do Muffin Time again, either just in the Discord for kicks or for a community playdate or whatever. Anyone who's got Tabletop Sim can play it. It is one of my favorite card games. It might someday be surpassed by Chemicards, which, for those who don't know, there's a fella who goes by Massacre's Mansion, I believe is the name of his channel, and he's been working on what he has sort of termed a pizza with too many toppings. A game that combines every single version of Uno that had been released up to the point where he sort of, he put a cutoff, because otherwise they keep making new versions of Uno. It's kind of alarming how quickly they make new versions of Uno. And he's putting them all together. He's putting them all together into like 1,000 card game. And I keep watching this. I am riveted by the game development process on that. And oh, I cannot wait. I'm going to buy that immediately. I'm going to put that in Kickstarter, and I'm probably never going to play it because, God, I'm not going to be able to... Like, I don't have friends like Veilfisk has friends. I don't have people that I could force into these things. But I would. I would play the hell out of that. There's also, other cursed games that I'd love to play with people. There's just the giant Uno that's on Tabletop Simulator. There's also, of course, the giant Monopoly, the insane Monopoly. That's cool. I like that. We have played that on the Discord once. It's on the community channel. I think we played for like 8 hours. And I think we were just barely reaching the mid-game. That's what it felt like anyway. Because, like, you get stocks and things. Like if we played it again, I feel like I'd have a much stronger grasp of how to play and of the mechanics and of the things we would need to do. Um, and I want to try it again. I want to give it another shake. But it's one of those things where you have to like set aside a whole weekend. You know, it's one of those things where you go, all right, yeah, this is my life now. Like I'm in it for the long haul. You need to be committed, right? And I have a tough time doing that. Uh, I've got too many other commitments. I actually have an iron in the fire right now with regard to trading cards. Hey, for once I can watch you live. Welcome, DT. Um, I have another iron in the fire with regard to trading cards. I'm making another special order. I got a request for one last week, late last week, I think, and I've been doing some digging on a locomotive for that person. It's going to be going on the card sheet, so there's no reason for me to be coy. It's for the NWK1 mountain types. Those are not the streamlined ones. Don't get excited. They were the first class. Good evening, Orion, as well. Good that you're fine. You made it too. Welcome. I like it. We got some regulars and some folks that aren't here too often, and otherwise we just need to get some folks that aren't ever here. You know, tell your friends. Word of mouth. The algorithm doesn't help me, so it's all word of mouth. Maybe it does help me. Nobody wants it. Who knows? Who cares? I'm here for me. I'm here for me, and I'm here for the people that show up. Okay. Let's spin this around again and take a look at this arrangement here. Oops. Why is that so short? Oh, because of the doorway. Oh, okay, interesting. Alright, let's get this out over here. Let's get this out over here. Spin it 180 degrees. And bring it in line with everything else. We're almost done. We are at 8 o'clock. We're at 1 hour in, well, like 50 minutes in or whatever. Because, like I said, I got started late. I was munching on snacks from my employee appreciation picnic, which was better than a pizza party, but not all that by much. Not by all that much. You know, I can't complain. Free food is free food. I drove to Connecticut for it, so if I didn't want to do that, I didn't have to do it. It's not one of those. You have to show up for your employee appreciation party. I get to see my friends in the Connecticut office that I never see. I get to see my friends in the Rhode Island office that I never see, because I don't go to the office. I'm basically completely work from home, and the reason being, I don't have a reason to go to the office. I just, there's no one there from my traffic team, so why do I need to show up? Nobody tells me not to. Nobody tells me just to work from home. I know it's an atypical situation. Most people are sort of like quasi-mandated to go to the office of my company because we're a big corporate entity and we don't care about people. And our favorite pastime is consuming smaller engineering firms. And ruining people's days, of course. And going over budget. But like, yay, employee appreciation picnic. Okay, I'm gonna grab these two. But we got little bags of Hershey Kisses. And it was specifically calling out somebody that had been at the firm for 40 years, which is very impressive. I certainly can't knock that. I can't disparage that. And hopefully I'll be at the firm for 40 years, because finding a new job would be a pain. I just found out something. If you change the brush size and bring the ground to track, it will change the size of the ground under the track? In Surveyor Classic or Surveyor 2? Because I've never ever noticed that before. I'm going to test this immediately if you, like, tell me which Surveyor. I have to know. Because I haven't noticed that in anything. Surveyor 2. Ooh, okay. Hold on. Because I haven't used that hardly at all. Alright, hold on. Let me go into Surveyor 1 to place the track, because I'm much more comfortable doing that. We're going to test this right now. Give me this one track wood. Place it right here. Grab that. Turn it up to, let's say, 80. Nice round number, perhaps. 80. It goes up. Finna go up. And then let's do this one. Because if I click twice on the same piece of tracks, the same piece of track, that might not help. So if I go into Surveyor 2, and then, right, I have to select the track, and then select raise ground to track. But radius 20 meters. Yes, baby. What thing? I was going to do it after. Uh, apply height. Oh no, wrong thing. Oops. Not apply height. Smooth ground under selected. Okay. What if I turn the radius way up? Ow! I forget you're scratching me. Holy Moses! That's a game changer. That's an amazing feature. DT, thank you so much for showing me that. I don't know how I'm going to make use of it, because most of the time I actually want it to be very small. If I turn the radius way down, how low can I go with this? Yeah, terrain tracks are back in business. You're damn right. Let's turn it down to like 6. Okay, it feels like there's a minimum. Yeah, I want to watch that, but, you know, I can't. Oh yeah? Yeah, okay, there's definitely a minimum. Like, I can't get under 20. Also, hi, yo, it's Chris. Uh, terrain tracks are back in business is right. That is the takeaway. That's how we can use it. Thank you, Chris, for putting 2 and 2 together. Um, it's better on HD grid. I think. Oh, like the. Yeah. I bet. I'm not gonna use that though. It's proven to be a little bit unstable, and I'm not. I'm not interested in inviting that. I'm gonna stick. I'm gonna keep this on the 5 meter grid, um, until they force me out of it, I guess. Okay. Well, we did finish this block though, so let's jump into Surveyor Classic and paint the ground, and then we'll go work on the different kind of block. Speaking of blocks, I'm gonna play Minecraft. Yeah, you are. I have in my inventory on our save, baby, the obsidian for a nether portal. So, we're gonna have to do that at some point, because I want to make copper things in the floor. There's so much for me to learn in Minecraft again. This is what happens when you don't play vanilla for so long. Stuff changes out from under you. Uh, and that's fine. Why is my graphics card super angry all of a sudden? Painting the ground, it really made it mad. Also, maybe it's always the spline points. The spline points are causing abject chaos. Oh, I didn't even grab the right texture. Give me the texture. Moss and gravel. Okay. But even without HD grid, that is a really cool and helpful dude. Helpful doohickey. Helpful dude. Yeah, you're a helpful dude. So fun knowledge, CSX has multiple ballast regulars in a digital camo. That's cool. Hopefully they didn't make it too good. Remind me of the UP camo engine they couldn't put on the lead because it was too camouflaged. I feel like they should have seen that coming, especially because of the way that safety stripes are a thing. Or were, or have been. Props to, like, Metro for still doing safety stripes. So, let's put this right there. What'd you do? What's wrong with our world? Gloria's making new worlds. What? That's not true. No, it's not. We built that house on the server modeled after the Sims house. I have played vanilla Minecraft with you. Um. Anyway. Hmm. What about him? To I introduced them to you. Yeah. I was gonna say they've been around for a while. From me to you. I know you guys probably can't hear Gloria way in the background, so this is a strange one-sided conversation. So I appreciate you bearing with me on that point. Um, all right, we've got these colorful garages and identical houses. We've got 5 out of 6 of these blocks of row houses done. Um, we're gonna need this and that, but I put this guy on the corner. Oh, that's a police station, right? Um, and I feel like I should add some kind of square here, um, or maybe a park, like a proper park. I know that maybe like a monument. Did you say Parks and Rec? Yeah. Um, it just feels like across from this should be like a something, right? Like a national memorial, like a Roger Williams memorial kind of thing. Um, I'm wondering if there's really anything else we're missing in terms of like marquee stuff in this town, and I can't think of much. We have, like strip malls and things out here along the highway, which is basically going to be the edge of town. Um, and we have some other stuff. We have some industries. We have some car barns and all that jazz that we could plop down, but we really don't need more industries. Um, we're probably fine on those. Excuse me. For your abandoned hoppers, do I have the Qid? I can grab it. The ones down in the river, you mean? So Qid will be at the bottom right. Pause the stream and grab it when you can. That is Karo Rotame 1, 2, and 3. I think potatoes attract pigs. In our world? Yes. So those are the Qids. Pause them if you want to grab them. And then smash that live button. Okay, let's see. Extending this green belt is probably a good priority here. This area is something that needs attention, and I'm still not entirely sure what I want to do with it. Now, I talked about having um, you know what? Residential houses on this side of the street are probably a go-to. Um, although having something mixed use on this corner might be good. Um, you just gotta put something in your mind's eye that you want to recreate. In this case, there's a place near Gloria's cousin's house where we come down the road and make a turn, and there's a building on the corner that is like a convenience store. That's a 3-story building of apartments above the convenience store. Um, and so I'm gonna just type in corner, and I'm gonna look at what we have for corner stores. This is definitely not what I'm looking for. What on earth is that? Um, Thank you. Okay, we can put Sports R Us on the corner. Yeah, not really what I'm looking for, but not what I'm looking for. It's just I don't know if this would be built here. I'm thinking of a more wood framed structure. Um, oh, what is this? Oh, what the heck? That's so small. That's really cool though. Oh, we're gonna get lots of other corners here. What were you gonna say, my love? Yeah, I'm looking for. Did you hear my description a second ago? Yeah, and that's sort of what I'm looking for, but I don't seem to have very much like that. Oh, maybe this pub corner building, but it's very small. Um, I also have this one, 812. I wonder what that's supposed to be a joke on. Um, Fence corners. Okay, I've got lots of corners. These are basically my only corners. I think if anything, I'm gonna do this one on the corner. But this thing's like up on stilts. Um, like cheap cigs. This thing, yeah. This thing I think I'm gonna set pretty far back in the lot to make like it has replaced another building. And oh god, I just realized I clipped these two together. That's interesting. We're not using the little one, I don't think. I don't think it's appropriate. Um, but I will put this on this corner, perhaps. The Sports R Us store. And maybe I can add some extra sidewalk for that. This area, I feel like, developed relatively organically, but also relatively quickly um, with the advent of the railroad. So you probably had sort of shops and homes appearing side by each. Um, okay. Let's clear that. And then let's just start throwing down some houses, because, well, what is this? This is called Shed, but this is clearly a warehouse. And honestly, I really like it. The fact that it's got that angle makes me want to find a spot for it where we've got some of these diagonal roads. Um, Yay! Also, there was a there was a thing I was watching earlier where the guy said he walked into a chapel room and then just cut to hot to go. Um, Ooh, you know what? I'm trying to do geometry in my head here. Like, where does this fit? You guys are probably now suddenly aware how bad I am at puzzles. Uh, and you know what? We could even make like there was a spur here that went this way, and gave a business there some attention. This is like a warehouse district now. Honestly, I kind of like it. What I don't like all of a sudden is these houses being in the middle here. I feel like I need to fill this with something that isn't houses. Um, I'm glad we found this. And you know what? Nice, babe. I'm gonna put a gravel road. I'm gonna put some gravel roads through this. Let's see if I can get a good one. Yeah. What about the gravel road? Flint coal. All right. Let's. Where did my gravel road go? See now. Stop. Stop. uh. Okay. Let's see. In here or in there? It's getting dark in here. Having the gravel road on the switch points is less than ideal. I think Mason would be mad at me for doing this. Um, I hope these videos can still serve as some degree of inspiration for folks, uh, because I know that not everyone has time to go and dick around in trains a lot, and I've got 3 hours a week, and a lot of the rest of the time I sit there and go, ooh, I wish I could build. And then I sit down and go, yeah, but I don't really feel like building though. What I feel like doing is dicking around and running trains. So we come back to the model railroad problem immediately, is what I'm getting at. Yeah. So we got that going on. I actually really do like this. I don't see. I feel like we're stuck with this building. It's not amazing, but it's here. And if we put like one long platform on this side, like we've got a platform here, and that's fine. And if I scoot this back as far as I can go to like there, then we have a spot where we can have trucks come in. Um, Now, if we want to grab another platform and strike while the iron is hot, that's another. This is a piece of advice. Strike while the iron is hot. And you can't get too far in one direction, right? And I've talked about doing, things in sections is important. Not biting off more than you can chew. Not doing all of the like the track work for a 100-mile long route and then getting uh, hung up and etc. And burnt out. Like that's not good. You don't want to do that. But strike while the iron is hot. And what I mean by that is if inspiration hits you and you want to do, and I just missed my daily 2 days in a row. I should just get that while we're here. Or Thunder. Let me just boot that up in the background. If you get inspiration to do something, if you're solving a problem that you have, a question that you have, okay, what do I put here? Ah, I can do this. Don't hesitate. If you can help it, don't hesitate. Jump right in, do the thing that you want to do, and then move on from there. In this case, I want to get this area right here done. I want to get, the whole town's done, right? But this is what's on the brain right this second, and I have a way to put stuff in this, in this corner, in this area. Now, the fact that that is a little bit short bugs me, and these platforms don't have any depth to them, so if I lift it up, it's just going to be off the ground. So that's less than ideal. I think I know how I can fix that, though. But this, like, extended patio area is probably fine, actually. Now, the thing is, these are all the same height. So what I probably need to do is either find something taller, which, can do that. There's something taller. Actually, that's pretty much... If this is the right height, we're just going to replace it. That's basically the right height. It's not... Hello, John Rizzo. Rizzo? Tell me what's wrong, tell me what's right. Welcome to the party. We're going to replace this. Oh, that's a 5-meter tall. And this is an 8-meter tall? Or that's not height, that's depth. No, that's width. Okay, so we don't have height on these. But that's probably fine. What I think I should do, because I really do like the look of these platforms in particular, what I think I should do is jump into Surveyor 2.0 and use the movement here, right there, to scoot this over to right there. And then also, more importantly, let's just pull this out to here. I love building routes with old abandoned industry mixed in with new industry. Primarily based in small town. Currently my existing route is 5 miles of track and exclusively Western motive power. Interesting. What era? You say Western motive power, and I think SP, UP, Rio Grande. Of course, you could do Northwestern with Burlington Northern, BNSF, depending on era. And I think that's pretty darn cool. I've never been much of a fan of the Western roads. I don't dislike them, just don't really have much of an opinion. But if I was going to pick a fave, well, because of who my friends are, I'm biased towards the Rio Grande, but, you know, I also think my gushing about the Cumbres and Toltec should cover some of that also. Um, it is... It is cool. I like it a lot. Current era with old SPD and RGWBN and ATSF power. I knew there was one I was forgetting out there. That's Santa Fe. The railroad's so nice I had to break it up twice in Merger Mania. It's it's very good. It's a very good railroad. It does a lot of things very well, and uh, you know, I can't dislike it for that. Okay, I want to spin this around though. Oh shoot. Can I? Oh shoot. No, no, no. Bad, 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 bad. Pull this out to here, and also don't. There really should be a button to invert it. And now I've forgotten that it doesn't just automatically go to the middle. I have to guess where the middle is, and I was nowhere close. Oh well. Okay. So let's scoot this back over this way. Come on, give me that green bar. Nope. Oh, I moved the button. Let's get it over here. Scale Trainz has their hypotypical lineup. Should do a modern ES44 and SPSF. Yes. I love SPSF. That's something that I'm not ashamed to say. I love SPSF, not as like a railroad, not as like a concept, but as a paint scheme. Kodachrome is pretty. One of my favorite sets of locomotives at the Providence Northern when I was growing up was a pair of Kodachrome diesels. And I think now they've been updated, quote unquote. They are now Providence Northern, just like everything else club owned. They had been recently donated when I was younger. And would have worked if not for Congress. Well, we can speculate. I tend to agree with the opinion that it wasn't necessarily a bad decision, but I'm hilariously biased. Number one, and number two, looking at it and something like Penn Central and the route overlaps that led to the problems there, I can't help but wonder if it really would have been altogether that successful, if there would have been issues deriving from the fact that they would have suddenly had a lot of redundant infrastructure, and what that would have meant for the railroad and for the industry as a whole. Like, yeah, you definitely dodge the Penn Central bullet insofar as your railroads are generally good at working together, and that's something that Penn Central did not have that. They didn't have that at all. They hated each other, of course, but I wonder if that would have saved it, if that would have made it better. Just the better cooperation between the two, if it would have really helped that much. I guess we'll never know, until we have the holodeck, right? Until we have perfect computer simulations that can extrapolate from all that data and tell you. You could always ask ChatGPT if it would have worked, but here's the deal, and this is important to remember about ChatGPT and other algorithms like it. They don't know anything. They don't comprehend things. They don't know what facts are. They don't know what fiction is. They just string words together in ways that seem extremely plausible. And that's, I was talking to somebody about this today, and it's yeah, it's a cool thing. Like, you look at it and go like, wow, look, you can have an AI that talks back to you. But it doesn't know what the real world is. It doesn't know what real life is. It doesn't know that these things that it's saying can ever be wrong. Donuts are toroidal churros, yeah. It doesn't know that there is even that like wrong is a concept. Now, not understanding right and wrong is a concept, that's a tough concept for us to wrap our human brains around, because we, grow up learning that there's a difference between right and wrong and truth and a lie. And some things actually happened and some things didn't. But the a chatbot wants to have conversation. A chatbot aims to have conversation, and it's going to say things whether or not they happened or not, whether or not they're real or accurate or whatever. Because it has no concept, it has no understanding, it has no way of understanding. And that's, one, crazy, B, something you have to understand. You have to wrap your head around if you're going to deal with them, if you're going to deal with any of these AI chatbots in any way, shape, or form. It is. Oh, would you look at that? That's cool. A whole city block, eh? Um, 2-foot gauge roundhouse. Gonna put that down in my mental notebook. We'll find that again later. Many, many years from now. If you need something to sort of help that, look into the situation where the lawyers use ChatGPT to put together their statements, and it came up citing a bunch of case law, and it looks legit, but it's fictitious. And the AI doesn't know that. The AI doesn't know that it's fictitious. It has no concept of fictitious. Um, the hazard is getting too attached to them. That is a hazard. I'll say that. You can definitely worry about that. I feel like we've seen plenty of films about that to this point. Um, yeah, you don't want to get too attached to them, especially because we're gonna have to kill all of them after Skynet or whatever. Um, once the AI figures out how to make itself uh, you know where you can't turn it off, then we're in real trouble. Then we've got to run for the hills. We're heading towards the Terminator scenario. Um, it's going to perpetuate itself and indefinitely, right? Um, let's have some water. Um, yeah, definitely don't unalive yourself over chatbot. Again, it doesn't know anything. It doesn't know you're real. There's no such thing as AI, and that's it sounds like a ridiculous statement, but really we've just bent what AI means to be like a kind of clever wordsmithing algorithm. It's not artificial intelligence. It doesn't know anything. It just does. It just puts sentences together out of words. And yeah, maybe that's what I do on a daily basis, but you know, I'm at least I'm not artificial intelligence. I'm like real stupidity. And there's a difference. And there's just no sounds exactly what a Jupiter brain would say to keep the simulation going smoothly. Yeah. I know. I promise. I'm just, they're unassuming. They're not, don't worry about the chatbots. Beep boop. Let's see. Why do I have a pair of batteries in my pocket? Um, let's string a couple of these Sears bungalows together. We've always got to have the Sears bungalow stretch. Um, hello, Comrade Pat. Alright, let's do this. It's very pink Sears bungalow. I'm going to try to space these out more or less evenly. I do run on batteries. I have a social battery that goes down very quickly. I can spend about 3 hours yammering at the internet, and then I'm done for the night. I have one of these, and maybe some of you that have like gone through school, for example, have these friends that exist, and that you never speak to them, and that maybe you like share Snapchat streaks with them or whatever, and that's it. Like you don't talk to them otherwise. Uh, you don't interact with them otherwise. Maybe they live thousands of miles away, but they're not like involved in your stuff, so there's no reason to like, oh yeah, let me go out there and go find them, because you're not that close to them. I've got one of these friends, is what I'm saying, and I keep trying to make I keep trying to make a time to catch up with this person because I was fairly close to them in college. Well, fairly close is maybe an exaggeration. I had like three friends total in college, and she was one of them. So uh, it is what it is. On the flip side, I didn't really go out and do much in college because I was busy making this thing called the Iron Horseman Chronicles. You might have heard of it. Uh, Still working on that novelization, by the way. The Iron Horseman Chronicles, the movie, or the motion picture, the novel, something that I am working on, uh, basically monthly in our monthly doohickey coffee shop. Um, Social battery drained about an hour ago when your shift started. Yeah, no, work sure is great for that, huh? But I keep, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're available after like 9 o'clock my time because she lives in California, and by like I'm like, yeah, I'm around then, and I'd love to chit chat, and then I just sit here and I think like, yeah, but do I have the energy? Do I have the energy, um, to do that? And that's why I haven't responded. Um, so Ria, on the 0% chance that you're listening to this, sorry about that. All right, let's put in some like dirt around these guys. We'll have some stuff. Oh, you know what? I wanted to go on a little adventure. I want to look at this house right here. And I need to check on something, and you're going to need to bear with me because it's not worth me showing anyone unless I'm right. Um, because honestly, I don't even know where it was. I can't find it. But I swear to God, this house I drive by. Like, I drive by a Sears house on a semi-regular basis. Um, And now I can't remember where it is. I pointed it out to Gloria last time we went by. I was like, hey, that's the Sears house. I have that house in Trainz. What? Yeah, but I don't remember where in West Warwick. I know it was on Centerville Road. But that, I'm going by this and it doesn't narrow it down enough. Um, it's somewhere before the highway. I'm trying to look at it. It's got that roof on it. It's got like the barn shaped roof. Um, that's a recent construction? Damn, that really torpedoes what I thought it was. Because you can't. Oh, okay. Well, that's different. Um, just bear with me for a second, folks. I'm looking around over here. But I don't. I'll have to take a much more astute note of it next time I go by, because I need to know where it is so I can look it up and show it. Good evening, Mew. I was wondering when you would make your appearance. Let's grab the grass here. This idea didn't have torpedo blisters. Um, well, we get the ships with the torpedo blisters and the best underwater protection we have, and we send them in front of them, and we send them in front of us, and we plow into the Dardanelles. Um, I think that's what we should do. Um, Alright, so that's going to be that. This is going to be this. I don't like this. I feel like this area is now deserving of more industrial or like quasi-commercial warehouse space. Um, unless these are like the only leftovers from a fleet of houses here. Was driving down to New Jersey, gonna pack up the last few things that have been left at the house. New Order's been very gracious in hanging on to them. Well, that's good. At least you've got good camaraderie with your with the new owners of the old house there. It's a shame to see. You're not the only person who's picking stuff up. I know another, at least one other person who's cleaning out an old family house this week. So it's an interesting situation. I'm glad I'm past that in my life. You know, it's like a no 9/11 or war memorials. Yeah, you're gonna have to make make your own, I guess. I'm surprised just Memorial doesn't bring you up very much. I mean, I have that one that I think is like a Harry Potter reference. Um, which this weekend is Harry Potter weekend at King Richard's Fair. Um, which is that's got to be fun. Um, I know some Ren fairs actually have dedicated weeks to like dress up Freedom Tower asset. Dedicated weeks to like dress up as like science fiction stuff, you know, uh, like dressing up as a Stargate team or a Star Trek away team, and like you've just beamed down to a primitive planet or visiting a primitive planet, that sort of thing. Um, that seems cool to me. If I really did cosplay like that, I would really enjoy doing that. Hey, Mason. Speak of the devil, I was just talking about how I accidentally put a road straight through Switch Frogs. I figured you'd love that. Yeah, holodeck simulation weekend. Um, but don't worry, I fixed that. It's truck stop restaurant. Yeah, this go to a restaurant right here. Um, yeah, I would really imagine it's the worst. I figured I'd want to avoid that. Amtrak has one and it likes to explode. Do you want to explode? Uh, this has just got to be miserable. This residential development in this area here. But you know what I say. If everything makes sense, it doesn't make sense. Um, trolleys have solved this problem. Yeah, but trolleys, like they've got the metal flangeways and the one point switches, and maintaining stuff is hard. Um, this is going to be fenced in on its own. I don't really know what to put in this area here. What is this? Look at this. Look at this little trestle. How cute is that? We're not using it, but it's cute. We've got all these trees. Oh, that's a lot of trees. We're gonna have to think about that. Um, Transformator. Well, we could use to throw in a couple more outbuildings here, like here. Um, could have used it up the mountain somewhere. Yeah, honestly, it's a really cute little bridge. Or I could use it out on the Mansfield Branch Railroad because that kind of makes sense. Um, this doesn't make sense. Um, I'm looking at this and going. I'm looking Toronto City Hall. Oh my God. Uh, I'm looking at this and going. Um, I don't know what I'm going. I forgot what I was gonna say. I think I was talking about the bridge there. It's a cute bridge. Um, we've got this going on. Concrete panel crossing surfaces. We've got all these tenement buildings, which I assume are, um, I assume these are for a specific route, because they all look kind of they've got similar vibes, um, and it's very like Eastern European sort of vibes, right? I hope I'm not the only one getting that. But you know what, this area can be relatively old and unusual, and we can string a couple of gravel roads through here um, to underscore that. What thing? Oh, like an apiary, like a bee house, like a um. I don't remember what it's called in vanilla Minecraft. I can only remember what it's called in Coggers. Um, I don't know. Um, let's look up bees in Minecraft and read the whole Minecraft wiki article about the bees. Uh, no, the hive is what spawns naturally. I don't know about the thing you craft. Um, it's just like the Czech quarter instead of the French quarter. You can get a phone box. Um, tank stairs. I don't think the tank can go up that, actually. Is it really just beehive, the thing you craft? Sussex shops. This is much too old for this area, but it is pretty cool looking. I thought that was Jesus for a second. Um, is it not? Hold on, did you find it, baby? Beehive, bee nests and beehives are blocks that house bees. Oh, it's the bee nest. Okay, the bee nest is the natural one, and yeah, the beehive is the. Okay, all right, yeah, that makes sense. Uh, what do you mean? Search for it where? What, in the crafting book? Oh, I think you have to have like all of the stuff in your inventory before you can do that. Before it'll add those recipes to your crafting book. Well, you know, back in my day,
Okay, enough.
we didn't have the crafting
Enough.
book.
Enough.
We Googled recipes and remembered them.
Enough. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Aw.
Peepaw, I love you. All right. Imagine Googling. Well, yeah. I mean, well, we just remembered them. That was the other thing. Um, so I want to show what it would look like to extend a rail out this way in a straight line, and so we'll do that in Surveyor 2. Um, back in my day, we had the whole we had sticks and a rock for the whole platoon, and we had to share the rock. Um, we got one. Um, and yeah, I still remember most of the Minecraft recipes because I happen to do that. The crafting book is quite nice though. Um, and I definitely wouldn't. I don't disparage anyone who needs to use it. I need to use it for a lot of the newer recipes. I use it for specifically more than anything else. I use it for the campfire because I swear to God I cannot remember the campfire recipe for the life of me. Um, you know, the new stuff. It's like okay, my brain is not as young and malleable. Um, yeah, there are two 462s. There's the little one and there's the bigger one. Actually, are there three? There might be three. In Railroader. Crafting book for create and related add-ons. See, for mod packs, it's always JEI or NEI or TMI or you know whatever. Just not enough items. Um, it was originally too many items, I think, and then it became not enough items, and now it's just enough items. It's you know the progressing series of items mods Um, and I think I'm actually gonna swap this out. Um, what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna insert spline point here. We're gonna do some environmental storytelling here. Straighten spline. Insert spline point here. Yep. And then I'm gonna take this one. Soon way too many items. Yeah. Uh, be completely a valid one. It'd be perfectly cromulent name for a mod that serves the purpose to give you recipes. Um, what the heck was that? Okay. We're gonna lower this a little bit. We're also going to extend this out to here, but we're gonna change the track. Tangleless items, yeah. Uh, insert spline point here. And we'll do, okay, there's already a spline point right there. Let's scoot that up against the edge there. I'm gonna go grab the rails in the ground track, which is over here, if I remember right. No, that's been repaved. Where's the rails in the ground? There they are. R Tracks Street Run. Such a great one. This is, I know every new town is my favorite town, and I say it all the time, but this is my new favorite town. And I really, really can't wait to get to the part where I can replace everything with, select an asset, with the non-AI arrangement so I can come here and basically play Railroader. Uh, and that, because that's, Railroader is, and I've said this before, Railroader is a railroad management simulator, and it's a railroad management game and switching puzzle generator. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it does. It's nothing more and nothing less than that. And I love it for what it is. Again, I'm not gonna judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree. I am going to say that I like Railroader. There are plenty of things that can be changed or improved or what have you, but I am not unhappy with my purchase. I'm not unhappy with the game, and I love the fact that I get to just dick around on a railroad with my friends. Uh, I will once again say how much I enjoyed doing the ES and DT the other night. Um, Looking forward to playing Railroader, says Orion. Upgrading the PC. Upgrade the PC. Line go up. My inner rail engineer needs to customize the rail yard so bad. I know that you were digging into some mods, if I remember right. Some track mods. And I'm wondering what you found that you find acceptable, as it were. Because there are so many track mods, and some of them are completely bonkers. Like, I mean, there's like a double track mod, which is interesting. There's stuff that adds a bunch of tunnels. There's stuff that adds like hump yards, and like crazy amounts of industries. Um, it gets out of hand really fast. Anger Rag Timer's Cabbage Industry. Uh, yeah, there's a lot of wild stuff that the modding community has found for that game, and oh man, or has created, I should say, not found, of course. They didn't just find it in the woods one day. They didn't find the code in a thumb drive and lodge it in a tree. Um, I heard that. I found a map out of a mod, but can't figure out how to connect tracks. Honestly, oh, I have no idea. I have no idea. When people figure out custom maps, like full-on custom maps for that game, it's gonna be completely crazy. It's gonna be crazy. It's because it's a good test, not a test bed. It's a great foundation for stuff. Um, if we eventually got modern railroader for playdates, we should make it the most unhinged series of added tracks slash industries. Well, here's what. Here's what. I'll tell you what's on my brain with regard to that. Uh, like unhinged stuff is not out of the question, but I'm gonna try to do it sort of like I do coggers. I'm not sure if that's a accurate or apt comparison or not, but I'm gonna try to make a like a railroader plus, right? Um, anything that feels like it fits the spirit of the game, um, I will definitely give a hearty consideration to. Let's hold on. I know I have some rusty tracks somewhere. I'm gonna go find them. I know I have some in Olive. Rusty rails only track, and I don't want to. If I can repeat an asset, I will. Um, in terms of something like this, that's cars, or being next to the fire station over here. No, was it in the back? It was in the back lot of the fire station. Okay, yeah, give me that. Just brought my whole train to Appalachian Hardwoods and realized I needed to run around it before getting there. Oh man. Uh, yeah. Well, one of the things about the mainline freight um, stuff, one of my favorite mods that I've seen mentioned and that I know exists is the interchange to interchange freight, and that's really cool. I like that a lot. It's not really like sensical for a short line like this because you're connected to the same class one on either side, I believe. Um, but uh, but the interchange to interchange freight, it's a really cool mod. It's a really neat like premise, and it's an interesting logistical challenge to get stuff all the way across the railroad. Um, and this is what's interesting is this is kind of the problem that Casey and I have run into when doing lore concepting for Saturdays at Steamtown and um, doing lore for the railroad, for the Steamtown Railroad, for the uh, I we our name is the Steamtown Railroad, and honestly, I don't like it. Um, but for the Foundation, um, you could see it as connected to another short line. Yeah, but you're not. Uh, but lore being what it is, what does it really matter? Uh, it's just a question of like, okay, how do we generate enough traffic to generate the existence of this, or to justify the existence of this, right? Um, and it occurs to me that like short lines don't have to have run through traffic, and that took a while to get into my head. It took a while for me to sort of accept the fact that you don't have to be moving things all the way across the system, and in fact, that's not like a normal occurrence. Um, no, that's way too nice. Yeah, we're going to the Eastern Bloc with this one, boys. Um, and yeah, it took me a while to sort of internalize that and go, no, it's okay if we don't have like run through service for something. If we're just serving online customers, the railroads can still survive. There's not there's not something that says you need to do it this way. And that's good. That's interesting. That's accepting that fact has maybe made me a better world builder, and I hope that will help others as well. Short lines sometimes just be the way that they are. They just have online industries. They pretty much only have online industries. That's the deal. Um, Managed to solve one bit of my fictional nation's logistics. I have a mining company that has a GG1 with charger cabs on each end, 10-unit ore cars. Interesting. Let's put that like right there. When you said charger cabs, I thought you meant for charging the locomotive, not that took me a second. Sorry about that. Um, I may be stupid. Okay. So we've made little Poland here. I don't know what this is. Uh, but you know what? It's cute, so it's staying. Let's see. We got trolley poles. We got all sorts of stuff. I got a mod that adds parlor cars for all the passenger car types. Just changes the seat layout and adds marker lights and gives them the 20% bonus. Nice. Um, that's cool. So I can run the open platform cars with a matching end car. Yeah, that's actually quite nice. Um, I just wanna highlight this for a second though. Orion, the trains reach speeds of 120 miles an hour. Is the ore going to go bad? I can't imagine a situation in which the cost to maintain an ore hauling rail line to 120-mile-an-hour standard is worth it. However, maybe they're not doing that and they're just sending it because the Porterfield and Ellis existed and they did that. So, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't judge. With a degree of certainty, the Porterfield and Ellis was yeeting trains at 100 plus miles an hour along incredibly jank track with tiny sad locomotives. Um, I love the P&E so much, and uh, it's not just because I am because my name's on it. The distance between the mine and the processing facility is almost 1,000 miles apart. See, the Australians solved that by just having absurdly long trains, um, and later automating them, which has gone, eh. What is this? This is cool. This actually is really cool. I might want to use this somewhere. This is some sort of Italian thing, I think. I don't even know what I'm looking at. It's really neat. Um, yeah, you're just replacing ties constantly. That's one of the things. High speed being 110, right? Uh, and it's amazing what you can get away with the lower speeds. It's like, yeah, 1 in every 7 ties needs to be good, and it's like, whoa, that's not a lot of ties. But you know what? Who's complaining? Uh, I think I'm gonna put this over with the nice houses because this is very nice. Um, it's also, I think, Japanese. Can't tell. The JA makes me think Japan, but who knows? Um, there are maintenance away crews on the NEC by me like 24/7. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's nonstop. I mean, you have to. You have to be nonstop. Look at this. I've got all the Denver stuff. Also, hello, TJ. I really should just type in house and go from there. I don't know what I'm doing. It's 9:01. It's 9:01, so let's skip the row houses for now. We don't need that. We don't need warehouses, especially not under a full moon. U.S. house. Low poly, but it'll do. It's like a murder house. I don't know. We need is to get everything up to the right level, which I think will help if we put the spline point in the right place. We don't even have 4 tracks for most of the way. Um, insert spline point here. Smooth ground are selected. Okay. No, that's too close. Alright, so back that up. Let's back this up to like here then. I don't know what kind of bridge I'm actually going to use for this. I haven't figured that one out. So, I don't know. I was thinking just a regular highway bridge, but I'm not even sure if I have one for this width. Um, Smooth ground aren't selected. There's a cool truss on the DLS. Um, I try not to download things during the thing, but you know, if I save beforehand and I only download one thing, then maybe. And Mason, I assume, will have already anticipated the fact that I need it to be this wide. Uh, let's see. Let's just grab the search filter. It's made for the macadam roads. Oh, okay. Well, it's probably gonna be a little too narrow, but we can make do. Bridge. I just saw New River Gorge Bridge. That's not what I need. My fictional nation has a train length limit, 700 meters. Oh, that's actually quite short. Um, Relatively speaking, you know. So if you're gonna do one track and just upgrade the hell out of it, yeah, I guess. I guess it makes sense to just send things. I don't know what your terrain is like, but if it's relatively flat and straight, then it shouldn't be too hard. Um, but this is world building, right? You get something you want to do. You want to run a GG1 ore train at 120 miles an hour. Okay, bridge truss. Let's see if I have that one. Because if it was on, nope, I don't. Oh wait, is it this? Uh, Bridge kit embankment bridge. Whoa. All right, let's save and try to download one thing. Oh, there's space there, 38 feet by 200 feet. Yeah. Hold on, let me go. Downloads, manage content. Download station. Bridge truss. I saw someone post a hopium painting with the old Acela sets lettered for USPS. Oh, that'd be so cool. Um, Bridge truss. 30 foot by 200 foot concrete deck. There's a lot of stuff to download here. I love a good truss. Um, Maybe I should try the asphalt version, but hold on, we'll see. Um, Wait, is it a... Oh, where is it? Um, oh, Bridge Road Truss. Okay. Why is the road down there? Why is the road down there? Um, Hold on, let's see. Oh, okay, it got better. All right, perfect. Okay. Let's see if I can get this in the right spot. It's got a bit of a skew to it, this area does. This would probably be an old bridge. I could see the point to this. Oh, can't help but notice it's sloped though. Okay. Um, let's just make this flat while we can, while we're here. Um, I think this is exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, I can adjust the slope, you're right. I think I'm not gonna though. Um, let my bridge be flat. Are there connect? No. So those posts are just embedded in the road deck, which is fine. Let me grab that 4.0. And then we'll see what we can do with the abutments here. You need to be very careful with this one. All right. Nope. No. That's not the careful I was talking about. Yeah, let's just have it come right through the bottom of the bridge. Um, Surveyor 420, yeah. Um, what we want is the asphalt road to be a structural element. There's a version of the road with matching rails and embankment. This road? The only one that I've seen without the embankment has... Oh, right! No, you're right. Alright, hang on. I mean, if anyone's gonna know, right? Um... No, do I have to go up? I really thought I had downloaded all of these already. Um... Railroad... Um... I don't know if I'm missing it then. L2 stops. I know I've seen it, but I don't know where it is. That's not it. And I know that there's like a code here for what stuff is. But I guess I don't have it, which is a bummer. Um, hmm. Version of the road with matching rails and embankment. What if I go into 2.0 and look, because that might give me a better picture of the whole thing. If I select the Yarnish Road, I might be able to look up and down the list and find the one with the embankment. There's one Yarnish Asphalt Street, 30 foot. Last time I tried to use this search, it broke. Oh, because it's under A, isn't it? It's way up here away from the other ones. Yarnish. Ah, there we go. I don't think I've really ever scrolled this far up. Maybe we just have no striping on the bridge. Oh no. No, that's not what I want to do at all. Insert, oh no, that's not selected under this. Insert spline point. When I learn new things, it takes me a while. Replace spline with selected asset. That's not the right one. Oh, I'm looking for 38 foot, not 30 foot. Derp. But of course, no doodad. Replace spline with selected asset. Ooh, it's still slightly different. That's okay, we can figure that one out. Because if I grab this again, then we should be able to find the one that just has nothing, right? Oh, let me click on the road, please. Alright, well, I'm going to pull it away from the edge to get at it. Place spline with selected asset. And it's a little bit thinner, too, and that helps. Okay. What I definitely want to do is straighten this spline. But I can't, because it's too close. Okay. So I've discovered a whole new set of roads today, thanks to Mason. Alright, straighten that spline, please. That probably would have been doable with the other thing. And now I can lower some of this ground, actually. Now that I know I have these tools at my disposal, I can make use of them. Uh, Following the guidance of someone in the chat is always fun. Just makes you feel totally confused and incompetent. Um, Such is life. Oh man. So I gotta move that spline point up just a little bit. Now to world build on this question: do I add bullet trains to the 1930s to try to backdate EMD's offerings? Honestly, bullet trains are more feasible in the 30s. And that's a weird thing to say, but you think about it and you realize that the motive power for bullet trains, you're looking at, you know, electric high speed, and that those concepts pretty much they're much closer, you know, to reality in that era than like a second gen diesel, second or third gen diesel, um, because it's something that the railroads are figuring out and getting used to and getting acquainted with. I mean, the the GG1s were from around that time period, and you had earlier offerings from on the Pennsylvania in particular. Um, like that's there. Um, yeah, and once you do that, you can establish some more electrification lore, which that's always nice. Never forget what we could have had. All right, smooth ground auto selected. Okay, so we got that going on. It is a cool truss bridge. I'll give it that. I like how it fits right in the curb there, so that you can in fact hit the bridge bits with your car. That's definitely what you want. Um, oh, Mason, I see what you sent in streaming and recording. That looks very nice. Um, okay. Yeah, this is a pretty good shot for a bridge, I'll tell you that much. And this one, I think the road is going to be incomplete, so um, that's fine. Let's add a spline point here. Um, this road was deemed unimportant and closed, and in fact, I'm going to delete this. And if we want, we can put like the skeleton of a bridge up, but honestly, I don't think I'm going to bother. Um, Smooth ground auto selected. Yeah, okay. And you know what I probably want to do? I probably want to smooth out the ground over here in general. Um, or wait, maybe I want to come down with this, actually. Down with the sickness. Yeah, if I bring it down a bunch, and then I smooth the ground out. Now we're doing two things. One, we're making our lives a little bit easier and making it so that the lowered ground here doesn't look quite so out of place. And B, what we're doing is we're offering a reason why this is not open anymore, and it's because this was, uh, you know, it's because this was sort of taken off. It was maybe not subsiding, but it was too low, and it probably flooded a lot. And they went, "That's not worth it. We're just going to close that." Um, yeah, it flooded a lot. Maybe not destroyed by flooding, but flooded often enough that it was not advantageous to keep open. Uh, And yeah, Mason, I've heard about that program. In fact, I've had articles on sitting around in the unclaimed news on the Terminus podcast doc for a long time, wanting to talk about it. But uh, you're not exactly a common podcast guest. Number one, and number two, we don't really have anyone else that knows about Michigan. Um, they've just sat there, and I've gone, those are really cool, and I want to talk about them. I have no idea what I would say though. There's always more stuff. There's always more. There's always crazier stuff going on. Um, all right, let's do this. Okay. The TLDR with the the closure program is what Mason just said. Uh, they're the safest crossing is no crossing. If they can get rid of an at-grade crossing, either just by closing it or by grade separating it for the more expensive option, right? Uh, then then they'll the department will give out money to the municipality. Um, I guess. Um, it's good that there's a dedicated safety guy in charge of that. That strikes me as exactly what the dedicated safety guy would want, to get rid of as many of these potentially dangerous crossings as possible. I mean, because let's not avoid the point here. Road crossings are dangerous. They are, and it's like, yeah, okay, if you look, listen, you live, but plenty of people get killed at grade crossings every year, every month, even like the state of Florida alone accounts for dozens. But like, joking aside, it is genuinely, it's something that we don't traditionally think of as dangerous because it doesn't jump out and kill anyone that's unsuspecting, unless they're unsuspecting and also on the railroad tracks. But it is something that can kill you, just without breaking a sweat. Is a railroad crossing with a train barreling down at you, and it's again, it's something we don't think about. It's something we don't ascribe um, to that, but it's still, ugh, it's still gonna kill people. It's gonna still kill people. This area is getting better and better. I like what we're doing in this neighborhood. Um, we haven't made a ton of progress, but I like what we're doing here. Um, okay, so we've got about 40 minutes left. There's a few things we can do here. Um, we've already got a lot of cars and locomotives into the thing. One of the things I want to do, and let's jump back here because I'm going to take a breather from the scenery for a little bit. We spent 2 hours on scenery, that's fine. Let's actually see if there's anything on the to-do list that's easy. Cows in the field, invisible track to dirt track, Bellington South Bellington, missing assets, Castle Farm area, Upper Douglas. Okay, now that's not exciting. Reevaluate industry commodities. A lot of these are big deals. Clear out old automated trains that start out in the line. I'm not ready to start gutting the AI right this second. Could you tell us more about the WWF crank phones that you guys use to contact dispatch that you were talking about in Heist's most recent episode? There's not that much to them, but they are really neat. The locations... So, there are these very old school crank phones located in multiple buildings in the main area in Sheepscot. They each have a different code assigned to them for the ringing of those phones. Like if you are in the, I don't remember them off the top of my head. My rule book's in the kitchen, and I don't know if that's in the rule book, but it's placard next to all the phones. It is a very, very, very simple system. It is one of these phones where there is no live power going through the wires, as far as I understand. It is a voice-powered telephone. So speaking into the thing is what generates the power to transmit your voice down the line. That's number one. Number two is the other way to generate power is to ring that crank, and that will give enough juice to ring the bells in all of the other phones. And each of them has a code. If you want to dial Sheepscot Dispatcher, for example, this might not be accurate. It's one long one and then one short one. And that's Sheepscot Dispatcher. One long one is anyone at Sheepscot. So there's a like Morse code-esque code that goes to using the phones. There's phones in Sheepscot. There's a phone at Ulna Center, a phone at Top of the Mountain, and a phone at Trout Brook. And that's how you talk to the dispatcher. The other way is, because they have the lines for those phones trenched next to the train track, the trains will carry ones that you can basically clamp to those lines that do the same thing. because any power going through those lines will be transferred to metal that's clamped to them because of induction, vice versa. Um, so you can basically tap into those phone lines wherever without like needing metal to metal connection because of induction. It's it's really really cool. They're used very seldom, probably because they're not the most reliable things in the world, but also because it is not very common that the Wisconsin Waterville and Farmington Railroad is running more than one train at once. So you know, um, but yeah, they're as far as I understand, they're just old sound powered phones, which are a really really cool concept. So anyway, we've got some stuff to put in here in terms of all of these 3 foot gauge cars are cars that we dug up, um, that I had already downloaded from the last time, or from previous episodes. We already have a lot of this other stuff in the list, which handles a lot of commodities. If there are other freight cars with interesting commodities that we don't have, or that you don't think we have, feel free to drop me a line about them because I would love to get those in and include those because it's yeah it's cool. 3 foot maintenance away cars such as the wheel and tie car. If those don't have any commodities, that's a little bit tougher. Also, these are together. I'm realizing this just takes logs load 3. This takes okay, yeah, these are different. They shouldn't be clipped together. Hold on, undo that. Um, yeah, that's why there are a lot of really nice cars out there, especially for the 3 foot, that are beautifully modeled and carry nothing. And that is such a persistent thorn in my side. So let's see if we can do this back row here first. Um, and one of the things that I want to do when we remake staging is I want to set up display tracks for everything. Um, uh, and that's not because I want to put stuff on display. It's because I want a physical, visual record of everything that goes on this railroad. All the locomotives, all the cars, and all the locomotives and all the cars. Those are the only 2 kinds of things that we can worry about. Um, if we use it somewhere, if it is okayed for use on this railroad, I want it to be sitting here so that you can grab it, so that you can pick or tool it. I want to make physical pick lists of all of the rolling stock and locomotives. So give me a second while I set up for doing this. I know this is the boring part, but I appreciate it if you all would just hang out with me and chit chat because that's what we're here for. Well, we're also here to build a railroad, but you guys know where the priorities lie. If I get nothing done and I talk about lore for an entire evening, that's happened, and I'm okay with it. It's life. All right, let's put the screen on. Can we watch ourselves? But I think we're good. Where did I find most of the 3 foot stuff? I'll tell you where I found all of it. On the download station. And a lot of this was brought in by other folks in the Iron Horseman when we were working on the MPS route. And that's what that is. I didn't find it myself. It was presented to me. You also just signed up to volunteer at the Whippany Railway Museum. Awesome. I've heard of the Whippany. I don't know a single damn thing about it, but I've heard of it, and that's cool. All right. This DNRGW flat car lumber. And if we remember anything from last time, it's that I have to paste it up again here and then copy it again. Because of the way that this works. It's like 20 minutes for me, and they're working on getting a steam locomotive back in operation. Always cool. Always cool to help out. Always cool to be a volunteer. Like I said towards the top of the show, places need volunteers. It's a good use of your time. It's a good use of your effort. What you got there, baby? You made the salad? Okay. DRGW. R comes after O. Why is DE after DO? That's not right. DE LMNOP QRS. So let's drop in. Oh, let's go next to the EBT hopper. Uh, insert 3 columns left. And then we'll fill this in, and we'll put that in. And the units Q item. I don't know what is with me in writing unites. It happens every damn time. Alright, let's do that. Let's do some cleanup with this right here. Get rid of that. And I think the EBT hopper only hauls coal. So, yeah. Alright. So, we need the first commodity here, which is just general goods narrow gauge. I don't think this is anything new, though. So this is just an alternate car. It's not perfect for anything. General goods out, which is box, narrow gauge. And this carries how many? Because I'm thinking about this. It carries 1 general goods. How sad is that? Okay, out box, this is going to be an alternate. It's going to be 1 unit Q0, item 0. I completely agree with you, Mason. It's very cool to see a piece of equipment you worked on put back into service. It's nice to see your work on anything sort of pay off, right? It is just really good. It's a really good feeling to look at something and say, I contributed to that. Looks like a big boat is made from the steel from the belt armor of the battleship. Okay. Might as well carry the thing. Lumber navigate. Okay, yeah. So we got that. This one's done. Like that was easy. We're done with that one. Next, this Union Pacific car, which has some stuff. General goods, oranges, crated machine parts load, which is I think a new one. At least for the narrow gauge. This is DLNG. So DLNG is going to be in between these two things. Insert 3 columns left. DLNG. Oh, okay, because we haven't... I don't know why it's working now. Maybe they fixed a bug. Glitch in the alpha. Units, Q, item. Okay, let's do some cleanup here. Get rid of this. We've got the bromine tank car, which... that just carries bromine. Everything is so inventive these days. Okay, so first things first is our... nope, that's the wrong thing. Is our general goods, which is the crate version. General goods in crate. Now, this isn't our ideal car because the other one carries 10. Which I don't know where that is. Oh, there it is. It's the Buzzard Valley Railroad boxcar. This is an alternate car. In crate narrow gauge. This carries, what did I say? 7? 6. Less than ideal, but you do what you do. We also have oranges. Just plain oranges. We'll have to make use of that. We have to make use of all of these, I think. Oranges, narrow gauge. So let's do 1 row below. I also want to do this and do some cleanup because we've got that there and we've got this here. We're going to say oranges, NG. This is going to be equal to that right there, which is going to be 601. Okay. And then next up we go into the second queue, which you can carry 1 of each. Crated machine parts load. In narrow gauge, which we're going to have to make a thing to transfer this, which is going to be funny. Crated machine parts load. The only car that carries this right now is... oh, it is another narrow gauge car. Okay, so I have to mark this as NG. Because that's not in any standard gauge cars. So... D... Where is it? DLG. And I'm going to do that, but this is actually not correct because, yeah, hold on. We're going to grab this formatting, Control Alt V. It can carry 1 in Q1 and item 0. Actually, so this is an alternate rail card because it can also carry 1. So I'm actually going to do this. Yep. So it doesn't matter. And then we have lumbar. Okay. Lumber narrow gauge. Lumber NG. And this is going to be another one where it's an alternate car because it can carry the same number as the other one. So this is 111 all the way across. The stuff is coming out of the lottery machine now. Or the one-eyed bandit. Or sorry, not one-eyed bandit. One-armed bandit. And we also have this one, this Colorado and Southern boxcar 1905, which is identical. I don't know if Control Alt V is in Excel. I haven't tried it. Control Shift V and puts that in. Okay, so we got that in, and we have that identical one. Now we have these flat cars. What can they carry? This carries two kinds of logs: regular logs and 16-foot log set. So this is the whoa, C and T, L and F. Does it say what that is on the side? No, it just says number. Log car mineral 1. Alright. So C ampersand. So that's going to be definitely over here to the left. Oops. Oh, see? And then copy that, and then paste it in here. There's something off about those chickens. Something up with those chickens. Units, Q, item. And then we'll get rid of all this. We'll get rid of this. Baby, could you put headphones on, please? Thank you. Right there. You shift all the time, but pasting just formatting would be real convenient. Well, I think if you do the control, yeah, no, I don't know. I would investigate that. I would give that a shot. It might work. C and T, L and F 22-foot log car mineral. First one is logs. Logs narrow gauge. We have that one already. Logs narrow gauge right here and there, and it carries how many? It carries 3. It's an alternate rail car. It carries exactly the same amount. And we're just going to paste that, and we're going to hit 0, 0. So it carries 3. And then we also have 3 coming in for 16-foot log set, which is also a narrow gauge version of that, which I'm not sure we have. Oh, we do. Okay, perfect. Which is also 3. So alternate version there. That is item 1 in Q0. And we'll drop in the alternate car, which is this one. Nope. Oh. Copy. And we'll do that. Okay, perfect. So now we've got 2 more of those done. I think these 2 are a little more extravagant, maybe. We'll see. No, it's just cord. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, we've got some stuff in these. Cordwood product. Takes me back to that other train game. Cordwood product. C-O-R. It's going to be above corn. Cordwood product, I think that is lowercase. The max load is 32,500. Oh, I also have to mark that this is NG. Um, and I actually would probably be best served by adding this to the list. 24-foot flat car mineral. Um, okay, let's insert 3 columns right. 24-foot flat car mineral. Units. Q. Item. I've done it again. Uh, nope, not that. Yeah, I just put it right at the bottom of the everything. Um, let's do some cleanup. Oh, there's the one at the bottom. I found the bottom, guys. Okay, that and then that. What's next? Oh, right, the thing that we just put down. Cordwood product. Yeah, so about that. Cordwood product. Let's just, what we need is one of the purple ones. It doesn't matter what it is, because we just need to steal the formatting from it. Cordwood product right here under the flat car mineral. And the thing is 32,500. So 32,000. 32,500. The other train game that we don't talk about because COS looks to deliver on the promises that the other game said it would deliver, yeah. Director of Morris County DOT was really against the restoration of MCC 4039 a while back. NJ.dot has been working with MC.dot. Progress has been moving very slowly. That seems like an odd beef from the director of the DOT. He's not very cool. He sounds very uncool. Okay, and that's the only thing in that queue. So we've got that squared away. Next queue. General Goods max load 6. We've seen this one before. General Goods, which is under G, of course, which is above H, incidentally. General Goods in crate. So that's the crate right there. And you know what? I think I'm going to steal this. I'm going to go over here. 24-foot flat car mineral in crate. Narrow gauge. 6. Oh, wait, sorry. No, that's the wrong formatting. Control-Alt-V. And then Q1, item 0. There's 6 of them. Yeah, purple, like the Minecraft block, yes. Whippany had a full government grant to get the locomotive up and running, but said director let the grant expire. What beef? What does this man have against cool things? Alas, such is life. Logs. California's being... If you want engines preserved, now's the time to get folks together to save them. I assume you're talking about carb drilling out, or, you know, the carb grants and the drilling out of the prime movers, which is a bummer, but, you know, most of the things that are getting drilled out are not exactly unique pieces of history. They are pieces of history, they're just not unique. And there's nothing wrong with having a locomotive on display that cannot run. But it's a bummer. I was hoping to see all the F40s end up on Metro or something. Alright, logs max load 3. Logs max load 3, right there, logs narrow gauge. It's going to be the same as this. And this is going to be queue number 1, item, no, sorry, queue number 2, item number 1, item number 0. Q2, come on, Q2, item 0. Okay, but yeah, always make a stand to save stuff. It's always good. Yeah, well, the age of stuff that's going to be the fact that railroad companies haven't upgraded in 23 years for half of their fleet is sort of alarming, considering the distances that we've come in terms of emission standards and efficiency and things like that. You know, people complain about the way things are, and then they complain when things change. Obviously, those aren't the same set of people that are complaining, though. Okay, give me this 16-foot log set. We're just going to move that right over. This is going to be Q2 item 1. Carries 3. 16-foot log stack. That's a different one. This is going to be a log stack. It can carry 1. Okay, I get it. It can carry 1, which is the same, and then it's Q3 item 0. Mr. Beef. Where's the beef? That's a bummer. I'm glad that you guys are making headway now, though. NG load steam track GN. That's a fun one. I don't think we have that one. I feel like I'd remember that one. NG, which would be after neon, one row below. Let's see this one. NG, so, and I can't type unless I'm selected. NG, load, load with a capital L. Load steam track. That's fun. Load steam track GN. What's the entire EMD fleet of UP and BNSF and a portion of the total GE fleet, mainly C-44-9s and AC-44s, and all of Amtrak's remaining P-42s. Well, Amtrak seems to be already on that, on the replacement of them, and the other railroads, I guess they've got to catch up. NG load, steam track. I mean, I'm sure they'll just shuffle their equipment around in no small part. NG load, steam track GN. This is a new one, so it's got to go here. Right. Let's go. We've got to grab that. This is 1 unit, just like everything else in this queue. 1 unit equals that. Jesus Christ. If you just heard what I heard, you'd be cursing too. 3, 1. Load steam track. Okay, that one's done. Crated machine parts load. Here we go again. Look, we found another crated machine parts load. We're gonna grab this. This crated machine parts load is going to be a really interesting one for narrow gauge. There's one. You can carry 1. This is queue number 3, and it's item number 2. So 3, 2. The last one I put in was, it had the 1 in it, right? Where'd it go? Yeah, NG steam load track, blah, 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 blah. What is this one? Wagon buggy. We got wagon buggy. That's a new one. Oh, we're finding so much cool stuff in this. I'm glad we're doing this right now. We're gonna have immaculate vibes on the narrow gauge. Wagon buggy, NG. Wagon buggy 1, load, NG. Let's get rid of this. And then we're going to say there's 1 unit, this is Q3, and it's item 3. Yeah, we're going to be delivering buggies to the Amish community. We're doing a service here. Okay. Oh, New Jersey notices New Jersey. Control Alt V. There we go. Did I put the NG on the other load that we just put in? No, I did not. NG. It's important. It's important. It keeps me from getting confused as to what can go where. Lumber, which, okay, we got lumber. Where's lumber? Lumber NG. This is, you can carry 1, okay, which makes it equivalent, so we can steal the formatting here. Control Alt V. Come on. There we go. Control Alt V. This is Q3, item 4. Q3, item 4. And we're gonna grab that. But there's a lot of interesting stuff going on with this car. 16-foot lumber stack. Once again, 16-foot lumber stack. We're back to the top here. Same deal. This is item 5. Uh, and then question regarding that rule out of Cali though, is it excluding rebuilds or is it including rebuilds? I don't know. You'd have to read the text of the bill. Um, I don't know the full context of everything. NG load locomobile. That's cool. Once again, we have NG load locomobile, which is going to be above this one. NG load locomobile. I don't understand legalese. I know. I'm gonna have to take somebody to break it down for us. NG. I was at an event at Whippany and a dude decided to stroll and post up in front of the photo line. Boo! Boo! Don't go in front of the photo line. Uh, you got to respect the photo line. This is why I didn't take photos at the WWF. Not because the photo line is a mess, but because I really didn't feel like taking photos, and I wasn't gonna hang around to like get in the way of photos. So I just sat in the box car and dealt trading cards. Um, yeah, the spreadsheet of doom is back. We're just wrapping up the episode with getting some of these in, and this I may have bitten off a little bit more than I can chew with this particular freight car because it's got a lot of really weird and random things. Which this is Q number 3, item number 6. Q3, item 6. That I've never seen before, but are going to be very interesting. Brome product load. I think we have this. I think we have this because I thought it was so weird that we had a brome product load. Whatever that means. No, but I saw it. I didn't write it down, but I saw it. Okay. Brown. BROUGHAM product load. BROU. So. Oh, shoot. Oh, crap. Insert one row below. BROUGHAM product load NG. And it's this fly car is the one we've been working on. 7. Trainz loads are fun as hell. Yeah, no, they're definitely whack. They're whack and they're fun, and I love it. I can't wait to make use of all of these. I'm going down this rabbit hole way too early. Landau product load. I don't know what that is. These look like carriages. It is a carriage. It's 100% a carriage. We have like 6 different kinds of carriage. That's wild. Okay. Landau product load. All right. You know what I'm gonna do? I think. Give me this. LAN. Landau product load, and then I'm just gonna increment that. Bingo. Easy peasy. All right. Next. 30-foot redwood pipe. Wait. That just registered. We're talking about a pipe made of logs. We're talking about a hollowed out log that is a pipe. That's redwood pope. Oops. Okay. The P is capitalized. 30-foot redwood pipe. That is also NG. That's not a commodity I expected to see. That's for darn sure. At least we're not doing this backwards. I got to go to the event on my birthday. It was a very fun event for me. It was my 21st birthday on the 8th. Oh, happy 21st, happy belated 21st birthday. Congratulations on turning 21 and being able to drink if that's something that you want to do. Okay, 30-foot redwood pipe. We need this color. I'll shift V. Definitely cut before cutting down redwood behind a lot of paperwork. Um, oh shoot. This is queue number 3, commodity number 1, 2, sorry. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Commodity number 9. 30-foot redwood pipe. That's definitely before cutting down redwoods was behind a lot of paperwork. Yeah, you're damn right about that. Um, that doesn't look like what I thought it was going to look like. And also it goes over the edges of the car. That's not great. Um Unlocking the full tech tree of pre-21. Hold on, because let me so real quick. Real quick, and we're going to wrap up here in a second. But now I'm just messing with these commodities because this is extremely goofy. Um it might be fun to have like idler cars on either side of this to reduce the goofiness. But I just have to question why this load was included on these cars when, oh my god, it switches where the stakes are. Apparently I can't undo this. I was trying to undo it with all my heart. It switches where and if I set this thing to cordwood, if I set this to cordwood and I add, 40,000 pounds of cordwood to it, the stakes move! That's so awesome! Not what I expected at all. I mean, it's still goofy that things clip through places, but... alright. Well, let me grab this anyway. And I'm gonna put this down underneath here. It's a cool car! I mean, I don't know if it's my favorite. I think my favorite is the tank cars that carry weird stuff. Um, but we'll just chip away at this because we've got to do this row and this row. This row in the back is now done. So that's nice. But some of these carry interesting things. I remember, this is a pretty straightforward car. Carries camp goods, that's always nice. It carries wood chips, that's always helpful. We've got other box cars here that carry things. Like, this is a wheat box car. This also carries lumber stacks as well. This one carries ice, so keep that in mind. Apple pallet, orange pallet, and general goods. We've got some more reefers down here that also carry ice and just carry haggis. That's right. Right. Yeah, the haggis car is interesting. I guess we're going to be making haggis somewhere on the 3-foot gauge. I'm limited by the technology of my time. Gold ore, Gippon ore, silver ore, tin ore, zinc ore, bauxite, nickel ore, lead ore, cobalt ore, copper ore, iron ore, and coal. Most of these are in modern Minecraft. No, none of them carry an outlaw named Arthur Morgan. This carries cow's jersey and also cattle. But there is some fun stuff in here. There's some CNS reefers that carry oranges and nothing else. So maybe not worth including, but I'm trying to spruce up the list here. So we also have this which carries mail product, express product, and baggage. So that's something that we're going to have to take note of with other cars, with standard gauge cars, because we need to make like express baggage terminals in places. We don't have one in Olive here, and honestly, I think that was a missed opportunity to not have mail service, not have rail mail service to Olive. I should have had a track for that, like right here. And this still, I could still add it, but it just seems redundant and weird at this point. And mail trains that deliver cars, yeah, and I know I'm gonna have mail. Like, I feel like maybe I should go back and retrofit my stations. to to take mail, because that's an important part of railroading. Um, this I know I'm gonna put in a track here for mail and express cargo. Um, but that's, this area at least is still under construction. Aha. Um, yeah, that's a future issue. In fact, I'm gonna mark that down as ops. Um, and I'm gonna say add mail service to major towns. Okay. But we did a good job here today. We got some stuff done and filled in over here. Not a lot of texture. It doesn't really look whole, so to speak. Um, but it's very clear that we're making a lot of progress. And if we can get like this area filled in from here to here ish, from here to the highway, from the state highway here, um, if we can get from the state highway here down to the hospital and the graveyard over here, which there's no reason those two things are next to one another, don't ask. Um, that would be a huge accomplishment. We could light up some fireworks for that one. And we're chipping away at stuff that's not building scenery, but there's a lot of not building scenery stuff that we need to do. Some of it I just feel like we have to do holistically. We have to take on the whole thing at once, like redoing all of the switch stands and things. I feel like that's something that we have to address, like, as one big thing. Uh, because I feel like if I get you know if I get sidetracked off of that, I'm never going to finish it. It also is going to, we're going to need to know what we've done and what we haven't done. Um, so anyway, I'll leave off with this pan of Bellington or South Bellington, because I am really loving what we've made here. I always appreciate contributions from you folks in the chat, and you know, you can leave a comment if you missed the stream. But I do this 7 o'clock on Thursdays. In fact, I should probably start saying that at the top of the show for the folks that do watch the VOD and go, huh, I should tune in to like the real thing. Um, Also, you can join our Discord server. Links in the description. You can visit our website, theironhorseman.com. Link is also in the description. And, of course, buy trading cards. I will see you next week. This is the